weather from one year to the next can affect your crops. And this year, as I said, we have wet in the spring, dry this last couple, 3 months. And our big concern is going to be now for our crop for next year, because the fruit bud development for next year's crop is set in August into September. And the most critical week of that was when we were at 40+ degrees Celsius weather. So we're kind of concerned what next year's fruit crop could be, and it could be already impacted from events of this year. We have approximately 10 acres of apple orchard, and this year we had 8 acres of pumpkins and squash, and approximately 700 acres of corn, oats, and soybeans for grain to feed our livestock. So we grow 22 different varieties of apples. We have a lot of heritage apples here on the farm, but our main crop is McIntosh, Cortland, and Spartans. And this is an Ida red tree that behind us. They're an apple that is a late winter apple. We don't actually start to use those until into January. So this year was a story of contradictions, because April, May, and June this year we had too much rain. And the rain, actually, our apple crop this year is off by 25%. And a lot of that damage was done during the apple blossom time, the end of May last year. We had rain and damp events at the beginning of the bloom that affected the early varieties, and we had it at the end of the bloom that affected the late varieties. So our McIntosh, they were actually turned out, we had a good crop of McIntosh this year. Our Spartans are off, they're over, down by over 50%. And Cortlands are off by probably 20%. So size is off. Sizes, so when I talk about our yield being down by 25%, so that is the volume of the crop. So that comes mainly from lack of apples, but also with the existing apples you have are smaller. Then the next thing where they're going to be impacted, where it's been so dry, the yield of juice out of a bin of apples will be off as well. The upside is, you know, they say grapes growing under stress give you better tasting wine. We're going to have exceptional tasting cider this year. And so our consumers are going to get the benefit from that, because cider is all about taste. We all live under the threat of tariffs, and that economic warfare or war that we're in at the moment, not of our choosing. That's affected getting products into the States and out of the States. So that's been an added challenge this year that we didn't need. And, you know, we were fortunate this year. We had actually more apple pickers than we needed. We were looking for 12 apple pickers. We ended up with 18. For the last 9 years, we've had a lot of the new Syrian immigrants. We started with 3 gentlemen in 2016. And one of them has come back every year. We have 45,000 chickens this year producing eggs, and we grow almost all of the crops for the chickens. The drought this year is going to affect the corn. We might actually have to buy corn because we're not going to be able to grow enough this year. And so you've already invested in all the money to grow the year's supply of corn, and then you got to turn around and buy it on top of it. It's kind of an insult to injury.